Started. Friends, when we talk of nation building, the first thing we have to think of is what kind of nation we want to build. A blueprint for that cannot be some random sketch but a grand design based on values, hopes, and aspirations of the people of the nation. On 26th January 1950, we laid a strong foundation by giving ourselves the Constitution of India. It was the Magna Carta of socio-economic transformation for building an inclusive and modern India. We promised ourselves to secure to all the citizens of this sovereign nation justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. The core principles of democracy, secularism, gender equality, and socio-economic equity became the beacon for our journey forward. Friends, let me pause here to take a look at the changes that surround us. Information and communication technology has made us think, act, and react differently. Distances have shrunk, mobility has increased, instant communication has led to greater awareness and raised expectations. Consumerism is at its peak. Medical science have raised the life expectancy and through better healthcare improved the quality of life. Disruptive technologies have become the rule rather than the exception, putting strain on adaptive capacity of individuals and systems. It is in this environment that the youth have to shoulder the responsibility of nation building. They must be readied for it through the medium of education and training. The education that we impart to our youth must have three clearly defined goals. First, it must teach them to control their lives, which can be done through character building, healthcare, and sharpening the ability to learn and use experience for attainment of one's goals. Second, it must teach them to understand life through a study of history, science, religion, and philosophy. And the third, it must teach them to enjoy their lives through friendships and relationships, observance of nature, and study of art and literature. Our education system must gear up to develop our youth on these lines. Friends, we must provide value-based education to our youth. We must inculcate in them the spirit of democratic behavior, which calls for an appreciation of the rich diversity of our nation, assimilation of ideas, and accommodation for divergent or constraints views. The idea of secularism is deeply ingrained in the consciousness of our nation. It has to be further strengthened in the minds of the young ones to build a harmonious society. Gender equality is essential for building an inclusive society. Unless women participate on equal terms and in equal numbers in the process of nation building, all efforts will remain incomplete. The occurrence of some unfortunate incidents of atrocity and violence against women in recent years should strengthen our resolve to weep out any track of depravity and evil from the minds of individuals. Respect for women is sacrosanct in our society, with its roots embedded in our civilizational values, which are reflected in our Constitution. A spirit of reverence towards women must be instilled in our children, in our homes and educational institutions. It must guide social conduct of an individual from an early age. Friends, without socio-economic equity, the word inclusion has no meaning. During the last few years, we have provided citizens the right to information, employment, education, and food, backed by legal guarantees. The government has launched programs for financial inclusion, creation of model villages, and formation of a digitally empowered society. We have strong legislations and schemes oriented towards inclusion. What we have to do now is to create enough opportunities through their implementation to meet the ambitions of an aspirational India. Friends, the nation which you have to build as bureaucrats, technocrats, scientists, educators, social innovators, thinkers, and agriculturists has to be an India which will ensure a decent and fulfilling life to all its citizens. It has to be a Swasth India, a digitally empowered India, educated and skilled India, and a tolerant, harmonious, and peaceful India, where the last person feels a part of the narrative of the country. India needs novel ideas and creative solutions to overcome challenges in the field of education, skill development, sanitation, and healthcare, financial inclusion, and service provisions. A successful innovative idea is one that has scalability. How can we skill 1 million of our youth every month? How we can gainfully employ trained manpower in the industry? How can we provide healthcare services to each rural household? How can we meet the financing requirements of small farmers and entrepreneurs in villages and small towns? How can we make public utility services more accessible, inclusive, and transparent? The answers to these questions lie in creating a strong digital backbone that can lead to efficient service delivery. Putting a mobile phone in the hands of a person living in a remote village and teaching him to use it To assess information, knowledge, and services is a great act of empowerment. It gives true meaning to the word inclusion.